Hey man, this is my bro Morris, and today I'm showing you how to mix rap vocals, how to make rap vocals sound clean using nothing but Logic Pro X stock plugins. Let's get into this. So, by any means, I'm no professional. Well, I don't know I don't know what people means by professional, but I make a living out of this. So I don't know if that's being professional. I don't know. I believe profession is like when you do it to a big scale, when you make tons of money doing this. But I do make a living out of this. So call me professional, call me not. This is the workflow. These are the settings that I used to use back in the days. Well, back in the days, a couple of years ago, when I just started to use Logics, and I had you know what I'm saying, just I just wanted to use stock plugins. I wanted to push myself just to make money just using Logic Pro X stock plugins, and this is my workflow. I made a lot of artists that really happy, and I'm still using it sometimes when I do have artists that just sound so good straight off the bat, so they don't need a lot of fancy plugins. So I guess, man, if you're a mixing engineer, this is gonna work perfectly. If you're broke and just have stock plugins, if you're an artist and you just want to mix your vocals yourself, this also is going to make your vocals you know, to a whole new level. Again, I do this for a living, so my email is right here if you want to contact me for anything. Yeah, we can work anything out. Okay, if you a broke artist and just want me to mix your vocals, I do some what they call it, pro bono. Yeah, I don't mind. If I have time, like, so just drop me an email, we can talk about it. Okay, so first thing first, I just want to pull out my notes right here, and you know what I'm saying, give you a big thank you before we get into the video. Thank you for supporting the channel, thank you for subscribing, thank you for liking the video, you know, leaving feedback, comments, anything. Support us on Patreon, support us on Facebook, like anything you do to support the channel, thank you. So as far as the vocals, let's talk about first levels, then we're gonna pass on to then move on to compression, and then we're gonna talk about EQ. Now I've seen a lot of YouTube videos, and I gotta say there's a lot of really good good people out there just sharing knowledge. This is my workflow. Yeah, let's get into first thing first to the levels. Okay, so let me take you through the what I got so far. This is just a simple instrumental, one track, bass, a snare, a kick, and hi-hats. Then I got some vocals on top of it. Yeah, let's go. These are off, there's no plugins. Compression, some channel EQ. Okay, so as you can hear, we just made the vocals sound more present in the track and cleaner. Okay, so this is what you want to do at the first stage, which is going to be part one, okay, of mixing rap vocals Logic Pro X settings. And then on part number two, we're gonna move on to you know, bringing the whole shit to a whole new level, right? So compression and channel EQ. As far as levels, don't mind. I used to watch YouTube 2 years ago. Again, when I started, I used to watch levels a lot. I wanted to see numbers. I wanted to be perfect, okay? But so I must say, don't watch the levels that I've got right here, because I'm recording. I'm screen recording. And yo, by the way, man, if you want me to show you how to screen record so you can make your own tutorials, just drop a comment. I'll make a video for it. But yeah, as I'm recording the screen, I'm not able to use the settings that I'm actually using when I'm putting together the vocal, you know what I'm saying, for the artist itself. But to a rule of thumb is to get, if you watch the vocal right now, right, I'm getting to minus to 30, right, 35 to 30, right? But if I put the vocals up, the track all the way up to a you know what I'm saying, to the level that I'm working with, just to put together the track, I'm getting to minus 12, minus 15 to 15 to 12. So this is what you want to get at, right? When you record your vocals, make sure that you when the artist is recording the vocals, basically I'm telling you this trick, right? Put the input gain to a level, to the minimum level. So you want to make sure that whatever's coming through the mic is not because of the interface, but it's because of the energy that the artist is putting in the vocal, in recording the vocals. Okay, so this is not rocket science. But if y'all wake up and just listen to track that we listen, right, when we put some rap tunes, we and I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying, like these tracks from classics, right? I'm not talking about modern sound, mambo rap. I'm not talking about that modern sound which I love, which all is whatever. But I'm talking about classics, because my artist, we working always on the classics. So make sure the vocals, they shouting, man. Like Pac shouts a lot, you know. Eminem shouts a lot. They put energy into the vocals, right? So make sure to put the input gain into your interface to be a minimum level, so that whatever's coming through the mic is because of the energy that the artist is bringing. Okay, so make him be loud, not shout as a bitch, but loud. Okay, so that you can hear the vocal, the sound from the throat, from the inside, from the heart. You see what I'm saying? So make sure to do that first, and have your artist to have again the input gain to be a minimum level, so that with his vocals you reaching to 12 dB. Okay, right to a 15 to 12. Okay, so when you have that energy and that little input gain in your interface, when we put the vocal chains that we working on this tutorial and the next one, you're gonna have a hot record. Okay, you're gonna have a hot record. So that's step number one. Level minimum input gain, a lot of energy, so that you get to a 15 to 12 dB. Now the second thing that we're gonna talk about is compression. Okay, now as you can see, as you can hear, the compression just making the vocal present in the track. Okay, so here's compression, how compression works. If y'all beginning, check this out. Basically, compression works like this, man. You give your vocals, especially if there's not a lot dynamic in the vocal, meaning that the artist is just recording the vocals but is having ups and downs, so he's not putting one breath in one vocal, which is basically, remember the song Eminem, what was that, 8 Mile, no, Lose Yourself, if you have one shot, one opportunity to give everything you ever wanted. So basically, this is what I'm using that line as when you record your vocal. If you have one shot, if you could record the vocal just one time, you use one breath, there's no coming back. So you just need to, you know what I'm saying, record your vocals in one shot. You will use one breath. Okay, so if you use one breath and one shot, it means that your vocals are really dynamic. So this is what you want to tell your artist, to be dynamic. Just one breath, one vocal, breathe hard, and then deliver the vocal straight to the face. Okay, and if the artist accomplish the job, you're gonna have a little compression that you gotta do, because the vocals will be dynamic already. Okay, this is when you mix in vocals. If you're not working with the artist face to face, you want to make sure that what I'm saying is useless, right? But if you're working face to face with the artist, you can tell the artist, hey man, just put the fucking vocals straight to the face. You feel me? You gotta be very direct, right? It's like when you meet a bitch, man. When you're in a club and you're hitting on a bitch, you don't just do whatever. No, you be direct, right? So this is how you want to talk. You know, talk to the mic as you would talking to a female, as you would talking to, if you're a female, to a man. You feel me? Like, be direct, okay? There's no hesitation, and that's be dynamic, okay? but yeah, off that, as far as compression goes, because we want to use the less amount of plugins. This is what I'm trying to say, okay? So the first thing in the compression is all these knobs. Okay, so if you're a beginner, the compression basically does that. When you set a threshold, it's going to happen that when the vocal hit that threshold, the compression start working. And how much does it work is the ratio. So and then you will make up whatever is compressed to put back the volume of the vocal that the compressor is taking out. Okay, so these are settings that you want to set and do nothing. Okay, the knee, the attack, and the release. So you got a knee at 07, attack to O, release to 200, 210, make up to 16, a ratio to 4.1, auto gain off. These are the settings. Okay, so let's take a look at what's happening in our vocals. As you can see, it's the level goes up to minus 16, right? Can you see that? Maximum to, this is half, so just touching just a little bit of further than the half, so minus 16 I'm gonna say. Now how I got that, if you set all the settings right to 7, 0, 210, 16 and 4.1, look at what happens if I touch the threshold. No compression happening. Too much compression. It goes up to minus 29. So when you have all of these sets, you fuck with the threshold until you get that minus 16. I'm getting minus 20 right here. I'm getting to minus 37, 38. And it goes up to minus 20. Look at minus 33. That's what I want. Minus 33. So this is just a bit of a trick for y'all beginner out there. If you don't know how to use compression, just put all the knee, the attack, the release, the makeup, and the ratio at these settings, and then fuck with the threshold until you get that minus 33. Okay, so that you have the makeup and the threshold married. Everything is fine, everything is cool, and the vocal it's certainly present in the track. Now this is for compression. Let's go with the last channel EQ before we wrap up the video. Okay, so let's see here with and without. See, it's cleaner with the channel EQ. Just with the channel EQ, removing stuff that we don't like. This is how we're using the channel EQ for now. And then the part number 2, we're gonna use a linear EQ just to give presence doing the EQ. Okay, so there's 3 things that you gotta do with channel EQ. Okay, for this type of channel EQ, remove everything below 100 hertz. I'm going to minus to 96. Make sure that 48 and 0.7 67 are the settings that you set, and then just fuck with the 96. Maybe if you're recording the vocals in a house, maybe you don't have pop no you need pop filter. Well, let's say that you have background noise or whatever, make sure to fuck with the 96 so that you have the vocals that you need. For instance, telephony, right? Very clean. Minus to 96, that's what I'm looking for. If you want to, for instance, nowadays there are modern sound that has a lot of, goes to 210 maybe, a Drakey kind of sound, which we don't work with. We don't fuck with that. We just want clean vocals. Me and my artist, anyways. Then if I got a client that wants me to have that modern sound, then I'll do whatever the client wants. But as far as me producing artists in my town, I do my style. So that's minus 96. And the second thing, we gotta remove the box in the vocal that comes from recording vocals, you know what I'm saying, the rooms. So the -3 and the 0.6 are going to be the settings that you want to have once you find the frequency. But let's find the frequency first. So how do you find this? How do you find the sequence, right? I'm just gonna write down these numbers. Minus 60, right? So basically what you're gonna do, yeah, you put the dB all the way up, and you sweep.
To the Heartbreak Hotel. I got some news in the mail today. Real aces in the game heard my name and couldn't pronounce it.
Miss Solo.
So tired and stop rapping. Get a suit and a tie. Or they get me.
Can you hear the boxing?
So pissed they got them puzzled. Why I be so serious and talk about issues? It's too ambitious. They don't want to hear it, son. Frat boys and rich kids just want to have fun and a shot at some bitches. Nobody flinches. So I roll up the boulder, drop it on the spiritual sons of Travolta. Regardless of it, since they heard this, I keep it heartless. Oh, my name is Elvis. I thrust my pelvis. First, I gotta deal with the audience in Memphis. And from the prom kids to the housewives in the kitchens, they're gonna love it if I sing with bitches. So
at 152, it wasn't 164, it was at 152, the boxiness. Okay, so once you find the boxiness, then you go back to the minus 3 round to minus 3, right? And then you want to go to 060, just like so. Okay, so that's the first frequency out. The second one, which is not going to be boxy a lot, but it's just going to be not pleasant to the ears. Okay, so let's do the same thing. Can you hear that? So sweep around until you find that frequency. So again, I found it at 252, 255, and then I'm just gonna cut it again to minus 3.5 and 046.
I got some news in the mail today. Real aces in the game heard my name and couldn't pronounce it. So I'm so tired and stop rapping.
46. Boom.
They get me a muzzle. I sound so pissed they got them puzzled.
Clean vocals. Just with the compression and channel EQ, man. Right? Nothing too complicated. This was for part number 1, just to get some mixing rap vocals to get your rap vocals clean. That sounds good. My name is Marlboro Morris, man. It was part number 1 of Logic Pro X settings to mixing rap vocals to sound clean and shit. Make sure to watch part number 2. Download this project file in the description box. That's the link. So you can go ahead and get this very project with these settings. Part number 2 is going to have, I assume, I haven't recorded part 2 yet, so I don't know if we will be done by the end of part number 2. My name is Marlboro Morris. Once again, thank you for watching, thank you for supporting the channel, thank you for doing all that good stuff to your success. Peace out. Yeah.